of Education meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Roll call. Mary?
Chairman Papaholzer.
Here.
Vice Chairman Alfrio.
Here.
Secretary Sienna. Jana Balsamo.
Here.
Zachary Canada.
Here.
Kim Dawson.
Here.
Victoria Lanza.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
visitors. Just the usual suspects out there. All right. Students?
Hello. So there's a lot of really exciting things happening at the high school, obviously, with the big move. So to kind of start that off with, during the close of March and the onset of April, MBHS staff and students completed comprehensive steps to prepare for the move into the new facility. The head of maintenance, Mr. John Florio, coordinated consistently with building and district personnel throughout the school year. When preparing, Mr. Florio and Mr. Williams attended meetings with building administrators and contractors to ensure an effective transition. And it's been really exciting to explore a new space before the end of senior year. I get lost, like I feel like a freshman pulling out my phone, trying to figure out where all my classes are. It's like checking Power School. So it's been really exciting for everybody. Everyone's really happy. The MBHS Junior Prom is scheduled for April 21st and will be held again at Bill Miller's Castle in North Branford. The MBHS SAD organization is sponsoring and hosting an awareness assembly on April 21st to raise awareness among juniors and seniors regarding safety. And the annual North Branford Senior Citizens Luncheon event is scheduled now for April 27th. The National Honor Society is hosting the event, and the gathering is being held at a brunch this year in the new MBHS Cafe before the scheduled lunch waves for students. Additionally, the MBHS Music Department provided seasonal selections. So I was hearing the process of how they were deciding what pieces to play at the jazz band.
Nice.
They're trying to decide amongst themselves because some people, like I can't make it to the luncheon because we have the AP stats exam that day. So it's kind of sad. And so a lot of the senior players who have like solos in these things, they can't be there. So they're trying to figure out what to do.
You mean you can't take the exam and play at the same time?
If only.
You're an overachiever, I think.
And during the later portion of the month, final course exams for advanced placement courses are scheduled. The College Board AP exams are scheduled for May. MBHS currently offers AP courses biology, calculus, environmental science, U.S. government and politics, language and composition, psychology, music theory, statistics, Spanish, studio art, and U.S. history. And if I could stay at high school longer, I'd probably end up taking all of them, so fun. So
I don't want to interrupt this, but can you just share what you said about if one of the schools you decide to go to, you would enter as a sophomore because?
So if I were to go to UConn in I guess in the following fall, I would start as a sophomore because of all the AP classes I've taken and all of the two UConn courses we offer. So UConn American Protest, which is like American Studies, like kind of a 101 class, and also a seminar in academic writing and multimodal communication. And so that kind of prepares the English preparatory class for UConn freshmen, so they know how to use library resources and how to use services like Canva, how to edit videos, that kind of thing. Everything that could be, you would potentially need to be successful in an English class. So it's exciting that I have that opportunity to start as a sophomore.
To save a whole year of tuition. That's amazing.
Is it a max out of like 30 credits or something you give when you use AP? Do anybody know that answer? By chance?
I don't think there's a cap.
There's not. I mean, that's kudos to you.
Yeah, UConn, there's no cap. I was talking to someone about it because I asked them that question because I know that some schools like Wesleyan, for example, like you can only take 2 classes and it shows up on your transcript like very specifically. And they were like, no, take as many as you, come as much as you want. Like, as they said, like his son started as a sophomore too. So it's cool that you have that
Difference
opportunity.
between a private and public.
Yeah, especially because like they're offering these classes the same way, like the UConn ones
State is what I
especially.
mean. Right.
out of state. I don't know if that counts the same, but.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And I bet your parents would appreciate that. But
Yeah.
I did mention that.
I'm not telling you where to go to school. Did you make a selection?
No, I have it's coming down to the wire for me, but probably by the end of next week, I'll have decided.
Would you be able to share with us next time? No pressure, but
Oh, I will.
if you feel
I will.
comfortable, we would love to hear.
All right, well, thank you.
Good luck with
Thank you.
decision making.
Are you leaving? a chance to review the consent agenda?
Yes.
Then I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda of the April 20, 2023 Board of Education meeting.
Second?
Okay.
Any discussion about it? Mary, we're gonna need a roll call vote because I was, Chairman Papa.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
Yeah, sorry.
He wasn't quick enough, hang on.
Well, sorry, I wrote these notes a couple of days ago. So when we do the appointments, in step 12, that's at the max it goes, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the max, so it's a contractual
Right.
number based on the year of experience and the degree that they hold. And what we do is we align it with another person that's on our staff that has the same experience, so there's equity when we hire them.
Right, and I guess the question is, does that make a void for that position? Like, so wherever that person came from step wherever to step 12, is there a vacancy now?
Were they left from?
Yes.
Yes.
No, there's not a vacancy.
No,
No, there's a vacancy.
Or something?
no.
No, there's
No,
a
no, no.
vacancy from where they left, but then they have to fill from another
The other
district.
district, the other
See, we-
district.
He's talking about.
We had a teacher
Step
leave.
up.
Yeah, he's talking about on steps,
Do we fill that step
No.
with the position? No.
The backfill step.
no. There's no limit on any steps. It's based upon years of service. There's a bachelor's column and a master's column, and then based upon your years of experience.
Right,
And some years, some years based upon the contract, nobody steps up.
Correct.
You know, so if, this person's coming from another district, so there's nothing,
There's no gap.
there's no gap, but there's no limit on steps, so it's not like you have to have so many on each and you have to fill them.
Oh, you know what? I guess I didn't pick up on it.
It's-
It's from a different place.
Yeah, so it's years of service, years of service in an accredited school district.
So basically, Alice got the job. and
Right.
She's coming in at step 12.
Got it, that's been.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if we were putting another person.
Nope.
Fair enough.
No, remember, you had at the last meeting, one of our teachers left to become an athletic director, which created the opening.
Right, that's what.
So then we work with the union, go through the whole process of the posting and the length of the posting, internal, anyone who has an opportunity to apply internally, and then when we find a candidate, if it's an external, it's a mathematical formula.
I guess you'll be teaching AP.
Yeah,
99% of the time, I mean, I can't think of a time where the appointment will be from outside the district. If it's an appointment on here, it's usually an outside hire.
Oh, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
Good tip there.
A little tip of the trade.
Good.
all right.
All right, Mary. Now we're ready.
Chairman Papa Holzer,
I have to abstain.
Vice Chair Nafrio,
Yes.
Jan Balsamo,
Yes.
Zachary Canada.
Yes.
Was he here last?
Were you here last time?
Pretty sure.
No, I don't think,
Maybe.
I don't think you were.
Hang on.
Yes, I was.
You was?
We got
I wasn't.
March
You
16th,
were.
it says
And I thought
present,
it was
so
the
unless it's a typo. I don't remember.
Sorry. Okay, Kim Dawson
Yes.
and Victoria Snyder.
Okay,
Okay, we're all set?
take it away.
Board of Ed briefs, you've had an opportunity to go through and look at how busy we've been. We have set a graduation date, drum roll. It will be Friday, June 9th. We had a very mild winter, and fortunately, we were able to plan it just to perfection to make sure it's a Friday night. So I will need you to make a motion to approve that. The pre-K through 11, students will go to that following Monday. That will be their last day on June 12th. And it's an early year. It really, I think it's a good thing.
I can keep this schedule, like the
Listen.
earlier year, I prefer it.
Next year, I think it's
Do you
early
guys
as well.
prefer it? Like,
So,
okay, so I think that we have some consensus that
yeah,
we can maybe try to.
next year's as early as well. So
Yeah, I think it all depends on our snow days.
So, well,
Yeah.
you know, a little-
So,
keep it going.
Are you looking at me to make a motion?
God, you've got to graduate, go for
I
it.
have a question on something that I've seen before, is the STEAM days, is that right? STEAM, it's an acronym called it. Is it on page or?
What do you want? Oh, the board briefs?
TBS, yeah, board brief.
So it's STEM with an A for art. So they're having a science, technology,
Does the whole district do that?
math,
Is that program, it's district-wide, or is it just?
That was an opportunity for our third graders.
Okay.
That Mrs. Warren actually coordinated with her grade team. And in each of the classrooms, there's an activity related to one part of STEAM, whether it was science, engineering, science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. And the students in the homeroom classes rotated to other classrooms where the teachers remained. And so essentially they taught the same lesson and activity 6 different times as each of the 6 different classes rotated through the rooms. So I know in Mrs. Morton's class, there was some robotics, there was some STEM-related bridge building activities.
Oh, nice.
One of our teachers, her parents actually entered her into a contest to win a set of Hess trucks. And so she won the contest and received this delivery at school one day. She had no idea why she was being delivered 25 Hess trucks. And it was accompanied by a whole curriculum of lessons. So she used those for this STEAM opportunity. And so each of the classes got to rotate through that. And the lesson was geared towards force and motion and friction. The kids had a great time. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
And how long has that been going on for? Is this first year for this, or is this consecutively, you know?
This was the first.
It was kind of spurred on by the winning of the Hess trucks, and
Yeah,
how could we utilize them? So we kind of wanted to try it out and see how it goes, and we would love to spread it to the other grade levels.
It just sounds interesting. And it's the first time I saw it. I've been doing this for so
I
long.
love creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me so happy.
And then this isn't, this kind of like open for, I guess for Scott or perhaps or Carter perhaps, is these school climate surveys, they're completed and submitted, I guess, right? I can't remember, do we get briefed on that like in another way, or do we get eyes on, or how does that work? I forget.
They've all been collected, I believe.
Like at the end of the year, a culmination of it, is that something that you should get shared to us, or no? I can't recall.
I mean, I don't know if it historically has, it's something that certainly could. Usually, we share them out with the
I think we've asked a couple times, and that's about it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And we'll get to that
I
point.
think with summary trends, and that would be fine to share.
Maybe put it on chat for.
Yeah, I think we've asked a couple times, oh, how did it turn out? But I don't think it's anything that we've really ever followed.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 graduation date as Friday, June 9th, 2023, the last day of school for students pre-K through grade 11 and staff being Monday, June 12th, 2023.
I'll second. Any discussion? Zach?
No.
You good? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Checking the minute.
No.
And everyone is invited to attend and escort the class in and be a part of graduation.
And it's super fun. I do. Are you gonna sit with us?
Yeah, I probably will sit with you guys. That way I could save a seat for one of my relatives.
Plus, it'll make it easier for you to give your son his diploma.
I don't know if I'll even do that, but yes. I don't know. I don't think so.
We have time to discuss.
Okay, well, I'll
You can
decide
give us
that.
a last minute.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you feel so.
I'll just elbow you right out of the
You
way.
just knock me right off. It's fine. I am not offended easily. But yeah, if you haven't been to graduation, newer board members, I suggest going at least once. It's really something.
Yeah, it's a really nice day.
Unless it's raining and then you could try to.
Stay on schedule.
Don't even say that.
Okay, next. Yeah.
You'll get an invitation.
Nikki will send them out
And then you respond. Okay.
Okay, great. I'm going to pass out our testing schedule for the 3 buildings, so you have a copy. Dr. Wells, or anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just highlighting, as you know, it's a busy time of year, and then you throw that in, getting your testing for schools. That begins next week. TVS is first to start. We're doing your perspective charts, as you can see. And then, as you look at the schedule there, you can see when NBIS and NBHS are doing theirs, with the exception of the SAT, which obviously already happened in March previously. Then I just put on the bottom, just again, reminding you of kind of our approach to testing, what we do to support kids and families and communication-wide, and then again, kind of the balanced value in that, knowing that it's important, but it's not what's driving everything that we do.
I have 2 questions. When do you trend the AP exam results?
The AP results usually come out the first or second week of July.
That's summertime.
So maybe in September.
Yeah, we usually provide the summary report, the data that's off
computer at the school, and there's no option to take them on paper at the school, because I tried to get that accommodation. And I'm just curious why that is. I mean, I know we can just test somewhere else on another date, but if a student has a hard time on a computer taking a test that way because of a health issue, and they still have to do it,
I think
it's kind of like almost a waste to try.
if a student has a 504 plan accommodations that are already approved for the regular school day, I think there's accommodations that can be looked at. Ultimately, it's not our decision, it's the state and college board's decision.
Yeah.
And they rarely do it for junior college, usually only for senior accommodation because the deadline pattern.
Because of the difference, okay. I mean, I was just
So
curious.
my juniors had to go to another site to do it, paper pencil.
Mine is doing the same.
And then they had to do it on the computer at their school, and they prefer the paper pencil. They're like, Dad, it's just, I said, I understand. And that's the whole weight going to that, because that's gonna end, the paper pencil is over this year, right? Yeah, so I agree. And my kids strongly agreed that they'd rather do paper pencil.
Yeah, the only reason I asked is because my daughter gets migraines when she's staring at a computer for long periods of time, and she was like in rough shape after it, but she's like, I gotta take it, Mom. I was like, oh, could you just not take it somewhere else? And you can. So I found out, yes, you can. You just take it somewhere else, but I just didn't know why they offer it. Maybe mass testing is easier that way.
This is a silly observation, but interesting question, I guess, is do we, outside of SAT, do we put our tests on computers currently? Outside, like,
Other than the
science
SAT?
exam, or if you're doing a math test, or is it all PC, or is it actually handwritten, hand-tuned?
It's supposed to be yours.
It mostly is?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
scrappy.
All right, so they're practicing for the big one, I guess.
Yeah, and but most tests aren't like 3 hours.
Right.
Right, well, you know, I'm not advocating this.
And they've shortened the SAT. I mean, it's less content at the length, I mean, but it's, they're trying to accommodate, but it's a grind on the
Did you try
computer.
those glasses, those?
I know, I did. Someone told me after.
Yeah, the blue lens.
Yeah, my daughter gets migraines and she has a whole bunch of those because
Yeah.
she's using the computer. She said, yeah.
Anyway, okay. I was just curious.
Any other questions? We'll turn it over to Martha.
Okay. All right, update on new financial system. Speaking of migraines, no.
Nice lead-in.
We had training all day today, so it does make for a long day. But it's a very detailed process. It is exciting, though, because we're putting together the building blocks, not only for what we want to see now, but for down in the future. And some of the things that we are putting together are additions to a new employee self-service where the employee can actually go in and change their tax withholding status. They can do a address change form. They could actually see how much time they have accrued for vacation or sick or personal. And it's a very real possibility that we may be able to eliminate frontline for absence, which would possibly save us about $17,000. Before we make that decision, we're just waiting for Tyler to make sure that we can get the reports that we need for our administrators on a daily basis before we actually pull that plug. But that's exciting. Another thing is an electronic version of our payroll action form, which would eliminate a lot of paper and actually keep things all in the system and allow us to remind new hires or employees of things that we still need from them, such as a beneficiary form or a direct deposit form, or even to let them know that maybe their state certification is going to expire in 90 days, and just a reminder to let them know to work on that.
Are they automatic triggers?
There's still a lot of setup that we're trying to wrap our head around, but I think after the initial setup of everything, I think they will automatically send out reminders when it hits that 90-day.
So my thought is like you're saving money possibly, but you're also saving labor, right? Because a lot of what you're, like the change of address has to be manually entered by staff now, the change in form. So like that's got to be
save us on paper, and it will definitely eliminate, the time lapse.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
the time of the labor of whoever's entering it.
Yes,
right? Like,
yes. And we're even looking at the automation of time cards. So right now, the employees fill out, 19th century paper. I came in at this time, went to lunch at this time, and left. And then they're responsible for adding those hours and then by the week. And then this will actually do all those calculations for them. So it'll eliminate a lot of
With
error.
Brantford moving into.
Yeah, look at that.
No, about 1990.
It's so good to see, right? Like, because one of my biggest things I harp on is, right, we don't use technology enough, so that's a really great
Yeah.
update, that we're moving in a direction that we're leveraging some technology to reduce labor and cost.
Yes, and make things more efficient and,
Yep.
yeah, so as detailed and difficult sometimes it is exciting in this, in the same
Yep.
way.
Change is hard, but good.
So for the budget report, you have it in front of you. Not too much has changed since last time. We do anticipate that our health insurance, Object 210, will be at zero or a little bit above. We do not expect it to be in a negative position at the end of the year. And we are anticipating right now 4 of our new retirees for June 23 will get a sick day payout. So depending on when they actually receive those funds, whether they have everything together with their financial advisor, if it's in June, then it's possible that we will pay them in June and those expenses will be recorded in June. If they don't get to it until August or September, then it will be next year. But there is a possibility of an additional $146,000 we're anticipating expenditure on the severance line.
So we're looking at over $200,000 of sick day payouts, essentially.
Yes.
This is the best gig in town. Hell, I might work for you guys. People don't do that anymore. You don't get paid out. for
Right.
sick
These
days.
are all the people that are grandfathered into the...
I know, but
I
it
know.
still baffles me. I say
It is,
every
it's a
year.
lot of money.
It's, you know what I mean? And it's not budgeted for necessarily.
Right.
It's not
I
anticipated.
anticipate.
You can't anticipate it, but that's a pretty large swing, $200,000.
It is. It is.
I'm not saying they didn't earn it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, from a budgetary sense,
yeah.
it's a
I don't
lot.
want anyone to think I'm diminishing their contribution to education.
And we do have transfers to go over. There is a note down the bottom here. It was on last month's report that the minimum wage will increase on June 1st from $14 to $15 an hour. So just a reminder, we will be making those changes to a handful of our staff who currently do only earn minimum wage. And it will also affect those paraprofessionals on step 1. So they will be off step, earning $15 an hour for just the month. So just to let you know.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is the budget transfers. This is two-sided, so if you want to take a look on both sides. The majority of these budget transfers are centered around salary, and a lot of it is just movement between schools or departments. So you see the first one is all special ed salaries moving in between the lines. Then there's a transfer for psychology. We had money budgeted in a district and we were moving towards allocating everyone to the specific school because it makes our reporting easier. We have to do it by level, so we're just transferring the funds to that particular school. Same thing for paraprofessional in the special education department. In our new software, we are not going to break it down between life skills and bridges or school to work. We're simply going to call it special education because in speaking with the administrators, there's really no reason to go down to that level. And then, let's see, we needed to cover athletic game workers, so there's some transfers there to cover that. Custodial overtime, we need to move some money between Omni retirement and the employer pension retirement, and then a software line at the high school needs to be covered. So those are the things that I am asking for your approval on.
Are we going to leave the 2023-2024 budget update until next time when we have time to digest it?
Yes.
All right, then I will make a motion to approve the line item transfers for the 2022-2023 school year as submitted.
Second. Any discussion further?
Just on that, the first one, page, I guess, first page here, under the special ed. 137 subtracted out, is that what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Just as a reason,
Well, it's possible that,
is that employee or something we're missing?
no, don't forget, when we do the budget, it was done last November, December, so it's possible we had people coded to that particular school.
Okay.
And either maybe, they moved during last year, or, they moved earlier this year.
Understood, yeah, I just want to make sure we didn't correct.
Yeah, yep, that's it. But you'll see there's enough money there in the other lines to
Right.
fully cover that.
Right. Okay. I think we should probably have a little call.
Okay. Chairman Papa-Holzer?
Yes.
Vice Chair Nafrio?
Yes.
Jana Balsamo?
Yes.
Zachary Canada?
Yes.
Kim Johnson?
Yes.
You want to continue on, or I can? So the food service alternatives, we, as you know, have been exploring and privatizing. We're waiting for the bids to come back on May 5th, I believe.
May 3rd.
May 3rd. So we'll have an update at the May board meeting, but regardless of that, we are asking the board to approve what we've done since 2016-17 to accept an additional 10 cents per meal through the healthy food service. So on the next page, there's 3 motions that we would need to make, which allows us to abide by the federal guidelines, but then after school hours, offer for sale food that does not meet that standard. So snack vending or games, events, things like that.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say we've done this for a number of years. Go ahead, you have a question?
Where's for after, so the second motion, food exemption section there? Where, am I jumping ahead? I don't mean to.
No, that's okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Where does that food come from? Like, where is it? Is it a distributor that trumps store? Do we purchase it?
We purchase it and
resell?
Yeah, and resell it. Like at the snack bar at a football game, we would purchase
We control that menu?
We control any vending machines. But we actually don't have any vending machines right now in the district. So if we went to a vending machine, we would purchase the load and sell.
Okay.
So
But I mean, like at basketball games, the booster clubs
Right.
yeah,
do it.
they bring in their own
They do
for
know
that.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that from-
Yeah, booster
Yeah.
clubs, I think field hockey,
Yeah.
I don't know who else, baseball, I don't know. But
They all
We
do
allow
their
them.
own thing. Each one does their own little thing to make a little money for their
Right.
senior night or their banquet or whatever, yeah.
And we don't control any of that.
No,
Yeah.
I just want to clarify.
Yep.
So then pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, Section 10-215F, the North Branford Board of Education certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under the jurisdiction of North Branford Board of Education and not exempted from the Connecticut Nutrition Standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut Nutrition Standards during the period of July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. The certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or the non-school organizations and groups.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye. The North Branford Board of Education will allow the sale of students will allow the sale to students of food, of food items that do not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of a regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, the food items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. The school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food sales.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then lastly, the North Branford Board of Education will allow the sale to students of all beverages not listed in section 10-221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes during the period of July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of the regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, beverages are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. The school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the beverage sales.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think there's a way to consolidate these three in the future.
I hope.
But is
I
it,
mean, I think it's because of, there are 3 different things. The healthy food certificate that we are going to participate, the food exemptions, and we actually had the attorney draft these motions for that reason, because they're so specific for the time after school, the date, the location, that they want you reading it so that you're held accountable to it. But we asked that before, and that was what they said. I know it's... The next thing, certified staff, non-renewals, or it's not because of performance, they were 1-year employees, so we just have to read out, I sent the motions up to the front, that we do 3 that are at Jerome Harrison.
So make a motion to non-renew the contract of employment of Aubrey Stangel, K-2 elementary teacher, 1 year only at Jerome Harrison Elementary School for the following year upon its expiration at the end of the 2022-2023 school year, and that the superintendent, Scott Schoonmaker, is directed to advise such person in writing of this action.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to non-renew the contract of employment of Kimberly Hillman, Smart Start Certified Preschool Teacher, 1 year only at Jerome Harrison Elementary School for the following year upon its expiration at the end of the 2022-2023 school year, and that the superintendent, Scott Schoonmaker, is directed to advise such person in writing of this action.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Lastly, motion to non-renew the contract of employment of Caitlin Beestick, integrated preschool teacher, Pride, 1 year only, at Jerome Harrison Elementary School for the following year upon its expiration at the end of the 2022-2023 school year, and that the superintendent, Scott Schoonmaker, is directed to advise such person in writing of this action.
Second.
All in favor?
Mary, do you need these?
Or you can just hand it, give her the sheet, and she'll have it.
I'll give it to her as soon as we're done.
Okay. Thank you. Moving along, town manager pending requests. We do not have any at this time. Obviously, we went through the budget meeting on what night was that? Tuesday night. And all department heads were there for the town and the board of ed. So we know the number that we're working with. Obviously, it has to go out to the folks in town and be voted on. But we're confident that the number will stand. So the hard work will begin for the administrative team starting. We've already started, but we're going to meet individually with building principals and then collectively. So by May, we'll have all that information for you. So if you were not aware, there was a combination of new town monies, the use of excess costs for this year and excess costs for next year. So we're just collaborating now, and we'll come up with a report next month. Okay? The renovation project, we had the open house the other night, we had hundreds of people there. It was actually really wonderful to see and listen to and talk to recent graduates that came back and those that were there in 1964, the first class that went in. And it was overwhelmingly positive for the feedback regarding the new building and just the way that it was laid out, the feel, the color scheme, the furniture, where things were located. People were genuinely really excited about it. So May 1st, they will start to demolish the other part of the building. They'll be building, I think, by late June. Foundation should be poured July-ish. And then the next part will go quickly. The next part is easier than the first part. All the mechanicals are in now. It's just a matter of two-story teaching space hallway, and then the gymnasium, which is a big box. So
Big box built fast.
fingers are crossed, and they're ready to go. The fence is already going around. They are moving us along, so that's a good thing. That's what we want. So, Zach, unless you have anything else?
No, not necessarily about phase two. Phase one, there's still some action items that need to be completed.
Right.
I think we kind of talked about in the previous, I want to say maybe January, December timeframe, but we're kind of having to communicate to contractors that need to get into the school during and making sure that is
After hours.
After hours.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we need to make a motion to ensure that happens because it's obviously a no-go in my book.
No, so
So if the last permanent projects committee meeting, we had a discussion about it, and I was very vocal about that, and the rest of the panel was pretty solid on that. I just don't know how you safeguard that from occurring outside of just saying, no, don't show up till 4:01.
I've had conversations with both Gil Bain and with Rusty Malik regarding absolutely no one on grounds during academic day, and then an extension after, and having a security guard present when they're there, and to a point where I'd even have a security guard there on the weekends as well to come in. It's money well spent.
Absolutely.
It's our security people. They know our people. We have 110 cameras in that building. We have card coding when we know who goes in and who goes out of that building. So I feel very comfortable that they are not going to make that mistake based upon our building committee and the conversations that have taken place, where if they violate that request, I don't think that will go over well.
Right, and I don't think it will either. And I'm not putting I don't want to put the contractors in, I'm not pointing a finger at contractors. I'm actually looking at outsiders observing what's happening at the building and say, this nefarious opportunity for, they go in there while somebody's distracted. That's the kind of thing I want to try to prevent, not necessarily contractors. They do get background checked and the whole nine and all that stuff, but I also like the idea of having a
security guard. And I've had conversations with them, and we will have a person there when they're there after hours or in late afternoons.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys comfortable with that?
Yeah.
And then for this building, how's the roofing? How's it going? It's almost,
It smells great.
right. I was just about to.
No, I can only speak for central office from our end down. Our people have been great. They understand it's a construction site. They understand that there's going to be dust. There's going to be odor when you're melting and rubber and laying roof on the top. It's been more potent at the far end of the hallway, so they've adjusted their hours. We worked remotely last week during vacation, and people could get in if they needed to get in, and it worked. I don't want to speak for Martha, but
windows open.
Nothing has fallen through the roof on
No,
our
nothing's
heads.
fallen through the roof.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it is a huge section of it in one day. I think it was one day or a day and a half.
It's a big job.
And so, they're wrapping up quick, but I knew there was a little bit of
a little bit of a stink from the other,
issue.
Yeah.
Right? And that was addressed on Monday night again, just to kind of, hey, you're doing better now. And I think, we had the director from
Park and Rec.
Jessica, when she's kind of spoke a couple of words, right? And make sure we're squared away. They're squared away, right?
We're good.
Okay. That's good. So,
Okay, moving right along, summer camp is coming. stay tuned. They're signing up online. Everything is now automated. And sales are fantastic. We run a tremendous camp. Many of our certified staff, our students, and our alumni work the camp. It makes it really special. They become a very tight family over time. I've witnessed my X amount of years here where the same group of kids come back. And even when they're in college and out, they still work the camp. They love it. So we're excited for another great year. And that's it.
No negotiations, no budget, no curriculum, no pension, policy. Who's taking policy?
We have first reads just that are
Yeah, we have a lot of first reads.
that are present, and then you have, only motion is to rescind the COVID-19 because it's gone. So in your packet for your first reads will be the breakdown memorandum from, obviously, Shipman for you to read, and then you have all of the policies to take with you.
Are most of it mandated changes?
Yes. Yes.
Related to changes in the law and new legal requirements.
Yeah.
There's a legend.
It'll break it down for you.
Every legend, right?
Yeah.
Some of the couple of
Okay. All right then.
All right.
Well, then I'll be happy to make a motion to rescind the COVID C-19 model policies adopted on August 20, 2020.
Second?
Is it safe to say all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. ACES,
I was not able to go to the April board meeting.
building committee, I think, Zach, you just gave us like the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, there's one thing that caught my attention, the auditorium floor. Is that capital project?
So,
Sorry, but I didn't hear what you said.
The auditorium floor.
Oh.
Time.
so it would be a capital project, and there's $1.6 million left in ARPA funding.
Okay.
That would be a great use for
Sure.
doing that floor work.
Is there like, I don't know, priority list or?
We didn't get any capital funding
Yeah, there's
Not
no
for
cap.
that.
for anything.
I thought
We
they
didn't
gave,
get any capital funding.
gave us money for the floor.
No, we didn't get
No,
any capital funding.
There's no capital. So I made clear that well, my plan is to address the $1.6 million that would easily, or to take the revenue from the summer earnings and put that back into the floor, because we are going to use that auditorium for a regular schedule.
Right.
So that money can be used for the floor,
Okay.
not out of the educational
I
budget.
mean, it's, I was in there last night, that's why, and it's my fault for not getting down there sooner and understanding what's going on, but it was the first time I was in there and noticed it again after, I was like,
It's aged.
yeah.
You know, it's like anything else. We talk about the high school being built in '64. The auditorium is now feeling the need for some upkeep. And,
It needs
Needs a little love.
needs a little glow up.
right. So,
Ooh,
We've got nothing.
new business, anything? No?
That would have been.
we do not need to go into executive session.
No, we don't.
No.
There's no visitors in press, we already established that. Okay. Good to the board?
I went to the Festival of Arts last night. My second grader did drumming and sang, and it was really awesome. Like, all the kids were awesome. They did 3 classes in one set, like at one time, and then 3 classes the next setting. And so it wasn't too crowded. You could park. It was nicely done, and they were just all so cute and adorable. So each class did something special. Like, my son did drums, another class did dancing, and then the other class did sign language while they sang. So it was really great. So I enjoyed that.
I like the drumsticks, so they're cool.
Yes, yeah, it was really awesome. He kept saying something about, like, it's going to be pitch black. I've got to perform in the pitch black. And I'm like, I had no clue what he's talking about. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be pitch black, but they did have the lights very low, so you could see those drumsticks. So I should listen to him, but, like, it doesn't, like, pitch black. I think, you don't know what the story is, so. But it was excellent.
Well, he was right.
Very enjoyable. He was. He was. I give up. I should just
Right.
let's not question him.
They know.
Exactly. So.
How about, I don't want to put you on the spot, How about your other son? Has he made a decision?
Yes, he actually is known for a while because he did early decisions, so he's going to Cornell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Janet, is Cornell Ivy?
Yes.
We have two IB
Can you say that
acceptances.
louder? Is Cornell Ivy?
And we have another student accepted to another IB located.
In New Haven.
It
Sorry.
hasn't
My
decided.
daughter's on my emergency contact, so like it just comes through.
15 minutes away, I won't make the Ivy League school, but it's very close to
Can I
Brentford.
say it because I found it out from a non-board related issue? Like the kids are talking about it. The kids are so proud of this individual. The kid was accepted to Yale. And it like, and I will not give up gender, but they are so proud of this individual. Like the kids are celebrating it. It's absolutely amazing, right? They all know 2 kids got accepted to Ivy. It's like chatter amongst them. Like they're really invigorated. Like, oh my God, they're so smart. You know, it's really great. You know, we hear how teenagers are kind of like nasty little creatures, but they're not always. They're like really celebrating and, you know, really building each other up here. So I just think it's nice. We, you know, give credit where credit's due. Like these 2 kids are really inspiring.
But you heard from our board rep speak to the number of AP classes. And I'm not saying that, listen, you run the spectrum, the gamut of every student having opportunities. And those who choose to take those classes that qualify, and they put themselves, because of the staff and the teachers, in positions they can go anywhere they want to go. And they're competing against international competition to go to these schools. There's no question. You look at who will be accepted and how many will apply. And to have 2 from North Branford is astonishing. And I'll leave it at that. So, proud moment.
Very proud. And be proud.
And be proud.
Okay. Anything else?
It's a good note to end on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's not say anything
No,
else. Are
we're
we good?
done.
We good? The next regular Board of Education